Hello everybody and welcome back to the library. I'm Laura. Today I'm going to be doing a book haul of all the books that I have bought during June. It is just the middle of June, but I don't plan on buying any more. We are trying to save up and I already bought 7. I'm also having surgery next month, so we definitely don't need to spend any more money. So let's just get started in the books that I bought. The first book that I bought is Our Souls at Night by Kent Ruff. And I've actually read this book. It's one of my favorites. I think I read it about 3 or 4 years ago. It's been a while. It's a little book. I listened to it on audio. And this is about 2 older people, Addie, and she is a widow, and Lewis, and he is a widower. And they live in this small town of Holt, Colorado. And they end up meeting finally and start a little relationship, and it's really, really cute. I loved this. It somewhat destroyed me. It definitely made me cry in the car. Almost made me cry at work when I was listening to this. I just really love this book. Need to reread it. It is great. The second book that I bought is Mistress of Rome by Kate Quinn. And I have not read this one yet. I need to take the sticker off. But I had heard about it and it sounds really good. I don't read a lot of ancient historical fiction, but this one sounded fun. And this is about Thea, who is a captive and becomes a slave for an heiress. But she likes music and kind of hides that from the heiress, and kind of practices it without her knowing, and she eventually wins the love of Rome's newest and most savage gladiator, and the heiress ends up tearing them apart and casts it out. So it looks pretty interesting. Like I said, I don't know a lot about it, but I heard good things and saw it. It was $6, so I thought I would just go ahead and pick it up, hoping this will be a fun one. The third book that I hauled is one of my other favorites, and this is The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin. And I read this about 2 years ago. I heard about it from Sean at Books, Films, and Floss. I think that's his new channel name. Sorry, Sean. I know you've changed your name a couple of times, so I can't exactly remember. But this is amazing. I love this trilogy so much. And this is about 3 women in this science fiction fantasy world where there are people called origins, and basically they can control like the ground, metal, kind of gems, actually more. Like, it's kind of hard to explain, and it's been a while since I read it, but they can like control the ground, they can cause earthquakes, and other things to happen. And basically this book follows 3 different people, like I said, 3 different women. And so much happens in this book, but it is so good. I love it so much. If you like science fiction fantasy, it can be a little hard to get into at first. It's a little bit of hard science fiction, not a lot of like sciencey stuff, but more of kind of an epic fantasy, different world. And I just need to stop rambling. I just really love it, and this is another one I need to reread soon because it is great. The next book that I found is Dark Water by Koji Suzuki, and I've had this book on my list for a while, but wasn't able to find it anywhere. This is a collection of Koji Suzuki's short stories. Koji Suzuki wrote The Ring, and this is just a collection of some of his stories he's written. So I have not read any of these yet, and there is a movie that is made out of Dark Water. I think it's on Shudder, and I wanted to watch it. So hopefully I'll get a chance to read this pretty soon. I'm pretty interested in this. The next book I hauled is The Lost Causes of Bleak Creek, which is by Rhett McLaughlin and Link Neal from Rhett and Link from Good Mythical Morning. I used to always watch them. I don't really a lot anymore, but I still think they're really funny and pretty cool. And they wrote a book, I think with help, of course, because they're not normally writers, but it's a mystery thriller. Okay, so basically in the book, it's in Bleak Creek, North Carolina. There is kind of a reformatory called Whitewood School, and youths are kind of scared of being put in there if they do wrong. And a couple of high school freshmen believe what they've all been told, that strange things happen there, students have died. And then they go to shoot there for their low budget horror masterpiece, and things go wrong, seems like. So like I said, I don't know a lot, but I'm interested to read it. It might not be great, we'll see. I'll definitely give it an honest review, because I kind of hate when stars write stuff but don't do a good job. They just do it to get money. So I will be interested to see how this is. The next book that I got was Karen Slaughter's Pieces of Her. Sorry, there's a sticker on the front. This came out I think 2 years ago, and I remember being really interested in it. This is about somebody named Laura and her daughter Andrea, and they go to the mall and something happens, and the mother, Laura, does something that her daughter has never seen before, and kind of like goes on survival mode, and she ends up learning more about her mom. I remember hearing things about this. I don't remember hearing many reviews, but it's Karen Slaughter, so I'm sure it's great. I've read Pretty Girls and loved it. I have 2 of her other books already and really need to read those, but I'm really interested in getting to read this one. And the last book I hauled, I'm really excited. I found this at Half Price Books for a pretty good price, and that is the Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. And I read this last year and loved it so much. I actually ended up reading, I think, all of Grady Hendrix's. I read Horror Store, I think, the year before, and then I listened to My Best Friend's Exorcism last year, and then listened to this one on audio as well. So finally getting caught up on Grady Hendrix. And if you don't know about this, I think this was one of the best horror books of 2020. And this is about Patricia Campbell. And she goes to a book club, and she didn't read the book, and the ladies, these fancy ladies, all start getting on to her and kind of berating her, but some of the other ladies there didn't read it either and didn't care about it. So instead, they form their own book club where they are reading true crime and, you know, some fun, kind of sexy books. And things are going well with her family and everything, but everything changes when she is attacked by an elderly neighbor that acts really weird and, you know, kind of cannibalistic maybe. And the neighbor's nephew, James Harris, moves there to kind of take care of her stuff. And James is really, really interesting. And she kind of gets caught up with him. But then weird things start happening. And she thinks he might be a vampire, and, you know, is trying to figure out what to do about that. Again, I will say I loved this book so much. I am so excited for his next book that is coming out this year. Can't remember the name of it. It's The Final Girl something. I wish I could remember, but I am really excited about that one too. Really love Grady Hendrix. If you haven't gotten a chance to read him, you really should. Anyways, those are all the books that I hauled in June. If you have read any of these and liked them or didn't like them, let me know down below. I'd love to talk. Please like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you want to see more. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.